Hi guys, welcome back to Income Grinders. My name is Eric, and this is the place where we talk about creating income streams online to build a better future. Today we're going to talk about what a domain name is and explain that so everybody can understand this basic concept. We will also talk about how it works with the domain names and how they find the websites they are pointing to. So, a common misunderstanding, or it's not a complete misunderstanding, but a common way to describe a domain name is to just say it is an address on the internet pointing to a website, or more specifically to a web server. But I would like to explain it a little bit different, but very similar. For me, a domain name or a domain is just a name. It's only the name of the domain that is the domain, so to say. So incomegrinders.com is a domain, pepsico.com is a domain, and brucelee.com is a domain name. That's all there is to it. It's just the name that is the domain. And for example, if you compare it to a company or a person like yourself, you have a name, the company has a name, and that's it. That's all there is to it. But you also have an address representing your current location, right? So, for example, PepsiCo, they have a brand name and they have an address, a current address, might change at some point, just as your address might change. And for a domain, it's actually quite the same. A domain has also an address defining its location, the physical location of the domain. So if you look at these cryptic numbers here on the presentation, 45.60.135.51, that is an IP address, which is pointing or describing the location of a physical server or a computer, for that matter, on the internet someplace. So using this address, your computer can understand where to read data from. And every computer on the internet has a unique IP address, and that's how they can communicate with each other. So the domain has a current IP address, just as the company has a current physical address. So we know where to go when we want to visit that company or that person or whatever we want to visit. So what happens when you enter your domain name in the browser, your computer will contact the so-called DNS server to fetch the current address for this domain name that you have entered, like pepsico.com in this case. And once it has the address, it will contact that physical server and download the web page to be displayed in your web browser. Quite simple. And all these addresses are stored in so-called DNS servers. Not very important to understand, but that's the name of them. So you can compare this to an up-to-date address book with all your contacts. And if somebody moves, if one of your contacts are moving, you update the physical address. And it's the same with the domains. All these three domains have a name and they have a current physical address pointing towards a web server. In this case, if it's a web page, which the computer you are using will contact to download the website. And if you move your website to a different hosting provider, you will need to update your IP address in the DNS servers for that to work. Just like if your family moves, you need to update your contacts. You have to tell them that, well, we have moved now, this is our new address, and if you want to visit us or send us email, or not email, physical mails, you have to come to this address instead. Now, just to summarize, a quick understanding is the concept of this video of what a domain is. It's just a name. It could be a brand name, it could be a company name, it could be a concept, it could be your own name.com or whatever, every domain to be accessible needs to have an IP address, and it can change and be updated. So this IP address is the physical location or the actual server where your files or website or web service is located for the moment. So if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you want to understand what the domain is for some reason. Maybe your friends are talking about it, they might be speculating in buying and selling domains, or they have websites developed and you want to understand it, and you might even want to purchase a domain. So in order to get a hold of a domain, you go to a so-called domain register and you search for available domain names, and then you purchase these domains that you want. And for example, of a provider, I'll put a link in the description. It could be GoDaddy.com. Here you can purchase domains that are free. You can also go to auctions for already registered domains that are for sale. And once you have purchased your domain, you have a yearly expense to keep owning that domain. So that's all for this short video, an explanation of what a domain is. And if you want to watch more videos like this, or want to learn how to create websites that make money online, or anything else in creating revenue streams online, you can consider subscribing. And if you found this video useful, please write a comment and press the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.